Hey everybody, it's Dr. Mark. How are y'all doing? I'm so excited to be back with you, and I have a special guest today. My friend, my life coach, Laura, how to be empowered around it. And it's going to be fine. It's going to be a fun time. So I'm going to find her and let her in. She's trying to get on, and I'm going to get her invited right now. Okay, here we go. Okay, technology. Here we go. Waiting for Lauren, and she's coming. She's coming. It's a promise. She's coming. You won't be disappointed. Here we go. Here she is. All right. Okay, we had some technical problems. Sorry, team. It was me. Lauren wrote a book called Maybe It's You, and actually it was me because I was on a Zoom call and I forgot to hang up from the Zoom call. I was sucking all the bandwidth, and until I figured that out, I couldn't get going. So I'm really excited, Lauren. You're back on Instagram Live with me today. Thank you for coming and hanging out and taking time out of your busy life, saving the world from itself, which is a good thing because we all need saving. And I'm so excited today because, Lauren, we get to talk about what's going on in the world right now, which is a lot. It's overwhelming
Yeah,
for people. Um,
yeah.
and you talk a lot about how do we have a healthy mind and how do we not let our minds screw with us. But you don't really say screw, you say a different word, but I say screw. Uh, and last time we talked about sleep and how much our negative dialogue gets in the way when it comes to falling asleep, staying asleep. But
Yeah.
today's theme is quite different. And I just want to say, Lauren, I haven't been good about my daily reports, but I have mastered my sleep. I fall asleep right away. It's been like it's just the most amazing thing I can tell you because I struggled with this for a long time, like decades, on and off. And I fixed all the things I know how to fix, except I didn't really fix my mind about it. And I got my eye shades and my blackout shades for my room, my earplugs, and I got a cool room, and I got my chili pad, and I take my hot bath, and I don't eat late, and I don't drink, and I do all the fun things. And I knew all what to do from a functional medicine perspective, but I left out the most important thing, which was the little piece of fat between my ears called my brain and my mind.
Mm, yeah.
And what's happened is like I now fall asleep and I sleep through and I wake up. I woke up like at 5 something to go to the bathroom. And usually I'm like, oh, I'm not going to fall asleep. I'm late all the time. I'm going to be tired all day. I'm like, oh, and I started on that. I'm like, shut it off immediately. Went right back to sleep. Woke up. It was great. It's like I have so much more energy now, and I feel so much happier, and life is good. And so it works. It really works. Lauren is teaching really works. So today there's a lot going on. The global pandemic, the incredible social
Mm,
unrest is
mm,
happening as a result of police brutality, and not just that, also the complete neglect of the social, racial, economic disparities that are going on in our society. And you're going to talk to us today about being empowered when it comes to
mm.
what goes on in here and what we do with our time and our days, and how do we get tackling that inner dialogue that gets in the way of us being really happy, even in the midst of crazy. So
Yes.
let's get started. Tell us what you mean by getting empowered when it comes to time.
So whether you like it or not, pay attention to it or not, appreciate it, dig it, it works, it doesn't work. Time is moving in one direction as far as we can tell. And the what you get to get done in life happens in time.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, the reason we keep good track of time is because we die, right? Time is limited. Things happen in time. We keep birthdays. We get like the world is structured through time. And then your relationship to time, I don't have enough. It's never got, I'm not good at it. I don't manage it. I don't, like the whole way you deal with that backdrop. One could say you're either empowered or not so much. Like you are a victim of time. You don't ever, right? So there's always a relationship to time. You could say there's always a relationship to your love life. There's always a relationship to death.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a relationship to money. right? So one of the things I care about is the way you relate to that subject matter as an individual, as a self. And there, it doesn't even matter how much money's in the bank account, people, right? If you, like, I knew people that checked their phone bill, and I mean this, I am literally talking, like, what are you doing at the table? Going through his AT&T phone bill and asked me if he was a billionaire. A billionaire.
Really? Oh, I never looked
And
at my phone bill. I never. Should I look at my phone bill?
no, it, and I looked at him and I was like, wow, like, are you doing that because you think the whole world's cheating you? Like, what's up with the phone bill? And he's like,
Yeah.
no, I think like this. I like being responsible this way. Like, so you enjoy doing this right now. He's like, Lauren, obviously I know I don't need to do this. And I'm like, so this is your kind of fun. It isn't like hunting for thieves and it makes you angry that you must, right? And he's like, no, Lauren. And I was like, oh, keep going. So it isn't what you're doing. It's that you're proud of what you're doing and it makes you feel good about your life.
Yeah. Well,
That's the rub I want to focus people on about time and what you're doing with it.
so, and then there's a lot of time we have now that we didn't have before, right? So people are often saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but it's often wasted, mindlessly scrolling on your phones, and they're not in great relationship to time and organizing it in a way that creates what they want every day, right? So it's
And then
weird because we
we
have
and
more
then we
time.
loop. And then we loop like, well, I had to see what happened here or there, or my kid was upset about this or that. So then there always is what's allowed to interrupt you and be more important. Right. And that is another place people will go, well, the reason I didn't get to exercise, the reason I didn't get to go to bed on time was for this reason or that. Right. And it really is and in those moments, most people really do feel they don't have a choice. And then it starts to be like, well, because I had to have this conversation, I couldn't make my dinner. So therefore, what did you eat? Or you didn't eat? Right? Or you didn't, right? And then it ruined your sleep, right? And so there's a domino effect when you aren't true to yourself. And most people, that's what I study.
Yeah. Well, you also talk about this whole idea of like people's predictable ways, and you have a very different take on predictable.
I even use it I even made it a different word.
Yeah, you have a different definition.
Predictable, right? And so when any of us get scared, upset, concerned, like anything triggers us, even dishes in the sink, right? There's a predictable way you could ruin your afternoon, your morning, your relationship with your husband, your relationship, like you have no idea how willing to sacrifice our love, our presence, our being empowered for being annoyed or being fake. Fake wins most awards.
And so this whole, you sort of define as behaving in a way that's sort of expected for us, which is sort of like your bad mood, your thoughts, your negative habits or traits, tiger momming, being disrespected, underappreciated, grudge holding, hurt hunting, being irritable, arrogant, stressed out, anxious, put upon, salty, whatever it is. And that we're kind of dumb to this predictability, even though like we think it's new, we're entitled to it, we kind of get stuck in this loop where we behave in these predictable ways that really undermine what we want and our happiness, right? So how do you break free of that?
So really, it's bad news. All you have to do is go ask your husband, your kids, right? Your coworkers that really work with you, right? What are my predictable behaviors that really, in the nicest way I can say this, suck about me, right? And there will be now, I want you to know that if I say, who are you asking? Make a list of what they're going to say. Yeah, you know what they're going to say. You can make their list for
It's
you.
predictable.
It really is predictable, but we live on the wrong side of the tracks. If we're still doing something predictable and really justifiable, like, but I ask my kids every time to, like, it gets into that sound we all know of justified anger, annoyance, shutting down, not talking about things, disconnecting, needing a drink, right? Those are all predictable behaviors, and we all have a list of them. And they aren't always there, but boy, are they there when we get scared, upset, concerned, which is the season we're in right now.
They're basically bad coping mechanisms that undermine our health, our
Yeah.
relationships, our connection to ourselves, our own well-being and happiness. And you're basically saying we don't have to do that, that there's a way out. And you
really
talk a lot about how to shift to this big self, little self. So you've got like a higher self that knows what's what, and you've got a lower self that just is like a brat and doesn't want to deal with stuff. And
no. It's not just a brat. It can read people's minds. It knows what's right and wrong about all things, and it knows what it like has a list on you. It has a list on others. It has coping mechanisms that if it gets upset enough that it didn't lose weight, it's allowed to then get on the scale and go eat because right? It is a hypocrite, moody, justified, and really constant.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the most amazing video the other day that sort of speaks to what we know and what we do and how different they are and how there is a higher self that knows what's right. And it was this woman on stage who was talking to a large audience, probably 1,000 people, white audience. And she said, anybody in this audience who would like to be treated as Black people are in society, stand up. And she's like, wait, no, you didn't understand my instructions. Anybody who wants to be treated as Black people are in society, stand up. Nobody stood up. And she's like, well, you didn't stand up because you know you don't want to be treated like a Black person in society. So why aren't you saying something or doing something about it? And it was just like shocking. And it was true because even though they thought of themselves as good people, as not racist, as, you know, being for human rights and civil rights, they still witnessed this lower self society functioning and didn't use their higher self to actually call it out. And what you're saying is that happens on our insides too all the time, but all the things of our life. And then we have a way to get through this, right? So how do you reorient your relationship to that voice and get your higher self running the show instead of your sort of dumbass self?
So most people, if you have never done the exercise I'm about to explain, you need to understand that until you actually do this exact exercise, you can know what I'm talking about because it makes sense, but you don't know it. Okay, so if you've not done that, so Mark knows my coaching about his inner dialogue, but until he started writing it down about his sleep and really hearing what it was doing so he could hear what his lower self was doing, then after you do that for a week, you can then start talking back to it and take over the inner dialogue as your higher self to your lower self.
It was embarrassing when I was like, oh my God, do I really think that all day long about, oh, I'm not going to fall asleep tonight. Oh, what if I don't get sleep? Oh, I've got a busy day tomorrow. Oh, what if I wake up? I'm not going to go to those times. I'm like, I had a whole thing going on there. I'm like, what the heck is that? I was like, shut the F up.
That's how we get sick, right? We start to wonder if I'm going to get sick. Am I going to get sick? Am I, right? Like am I, like, I don't know if I want to, like, literally. So I have a promise, everyone, bear with me. I have a promise to have sex twice a week. I have to manage my voice in my head going, not today. Like at 10 a.m., it's already planning not today.
Mm.
Why not today? Right? Why? Right? Like, I don't even, like it, right? It's waiting for Wednesday because it better by Wednesday because then it leaves one for the weekend because I am a born procrastinator, right?
Yeah.
Like, can't figure out my, and the truth is, I'm not waiting for that voice in my head to not, I have a promise twice a week. I always do it. I can hear it, right? If I made the promise 3 times a week, it would be saying no on whatever day that was so that it could put it off till tomorrow, right? Like there is my nature, what's predictable about me. And you see how much I laugh at my own nature? Like truly am not trying to hide from it. It just doesn't get to run my life. It actually gives me how to run my life by not doing what it said.
Yeah.
Right. So if you go, Lauren, did you want to exercise this morning, everyone? Now, first of all, you guys, I really exercise 4 to 5 times a week. I can blow one off. I really have a promise before. So here I am talking to myself about the 5th one, which is this morning. And it's even in my calendar. It says Peloton. And I look at myself looking at it and I could go, you don't have to. Right? Lower self, hi, good morning. Am I surprised she's there? Nope. Next thing it says, you'll be happier if you actually just get it over with. Go. And that was it. That was my but do you understand? I've been doing my method for 20 years and I still need it.
Yeah, it's so funny. This morning, I went into this coffee shop. I had to go into town to get something, and I was like, oh, this coffee shop's open. I'm going to get coffee. And of course, it wasn't just a coffee shop. It had all these croissants and chocolate croissants, and I'm like, I never eat that stuff, but I'm like, oh wow, that looks so good. That would be so good. And then I'm like, but I plan to go for a bike ride. But if I eat that, I'm gonna be sick. And I can't. So I'm like, but I could watch this whole thing going on in my head, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. I'm definitely going to choose the bike ride. I'm not going to choose a croissant. But it was a tight battle there for a minute. Yeah. Well, this is so great. What's great about your work, Lauren, is it's accessible to everybody. And I think that, you have an incredible coaching company. For those who just joined, Lauren Zander is the co-founder of the Handel Group, which is a personal and life coaching and corporate consulting coaching business. They work all over the place with the top folks in the world, and I am so blessed to have been part of their community and have been coached by Lauren personally, which is really special, and I'm so grateful for it, and it's changed my life. But it's not available to everybody because there's only so many of them. But what they've done is created this incredible course online called Inner You, like capital U, like university, so the Inner University, I like that. And it's just a powerful course that allows people to access all the wisdom that they put together, what they use with their high-profile clients, what they use with corporate consulting. It's really profound, and it's profoundly helped me in my life in ways that I can't even describe, but to have happy relationships, to be more successful at work, to take care of my own health in better ways, to just at every level, it's helped me to be really happy.
Yeah.
I'm really happy. And I wasn't. There were aspects of my life that were really working, and there were just aspects that really sucked. And clearing all the sucked parts out, and I just don't have many of those anymore. And I encourage you to check out the online coaching course. It's available now to everybody. It's half off. The regular price is $650. You can get it for $325. All you have to do is see the link in my bio on Instagram or visit handelgroup.com/Mark Hyman. That's me, Mark Hyman. So handelgroup.com/Mark Hyman, or just click on the link in my bio on Instagram, and you'll receive a lifetime access with your subscription, which includes 12 coaching sessions from Lauren Zander herself, and they are funny, they're engaging, and they're just, you'll be laughing all the way to enlightenment. It's really awesome. And you'll have one free private coaching session with a Handel Group coach, access to Inner University, and a 6-week coaching boot camp with a Handel Group coach. You'll have 14 homework assignments. Yes, there's homework, but it is worth it. And you're the only one who gets to keep score, really. You'll get your interactive promise tracker, which actually makes you accountable. I always say everybody needs a buddy, accountability buddy, and they are your accountability buddy, and you will track your promises, your consequences, how you actually get stuff done, change those behaviors and those thought patterns that keep you from living the life you want and from being as happy as you could be. So again, you can go get started at handelgroup.com/Mark Hyman. Check out the link in my bio, and we'll be back again with Lauren Zander for another Instagram Live soon. So stay tuned, and she's just awesome. And honestly, I would vote for her for spiritual leader for the world. That's what I would vote. All right. See everybody and have fun.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Lauren. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining us
you.
today.
And take on one promise, and watch that voice try to screw with it.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.